What is up, everyone? In one of my more recent videos, and actually, to be honest, probably the most popular video I've put out so far, I talked about the things I hate about living here in Medford. Now, I realize that I kind of come off as a negative Nancy with that video, and to be honest, I don't want to be that person. But, there are some downsides to living here. However, in this video, we're going to be covering the 10 things that I absolutely love about living here in Medford. And number one, honestly, guys, is the central location. Where Medford is located, it makes easy access to getting around here in Jackson County, Southern Oregon, if you want to go down to California. So number one is the central location. And to be honest with you, everything on this list is kind of based around the location of Medford. Now, if this is your first time here on this channel, welcome and thank you for tuning in. My name is Armstrong, and on this channel, I make videos all about eating, sleeping, and everything that you need to know about living here in Southern Oregon. So if you're interested in learning more, consider subscribing. Also, if you are considering moving here or thinking of visiting, reach out if you have any questions. I would love to help you out. Anyway, all my contact information is down below. The second thing I love about living here in Medford, there are plenty of parks. The majority of the parks here in Jackson County are located in Medford, the Medford area. Now, I will be honest with you, there are a few parks that are not the greatest, but personally for me, I have two young kids, 4 and 9 months old. Obviously, 9-month-old isn't really running around parks too often right now, but we absolutely love going to the Bear Creek Park. It's probably one of our favorite parks here in Medford. They recently redid it about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. It used to be a wooden play structure all throughout, huge wooden play structure. I remember growing up here and playing on it as a kid, so lots of childhood memories there, and it's awesome to be able to take my kids there and allow them to make the same kind of memories. Playground's not as cool. Much safer now, though. Much safer. Number 3 on the list is there are plenty of breweries. I am a huge fan of microbrews. I like, IPAs, porters, anything with some good flavor. I know if you're coming from like the East Coast, you're probably looking at me like I'm a beer snob, I'm weird, gross beer, whatever. We have plenty of breweries here in Medford. One of my favorites is Opposition Brewery. I think I've mentioned them before in other videos. Common Block Brewing is also another great one. So if you are in town, make sure you check out those. They are great. There's I think there's like 4 different breweries just in the downtown area, all walking distance. So if you are into, bar hopping or whatever, you're definitely going to want to enjoy some of those good tasting brews. Number 4, and before I even get into this one, I know there's going to be people that come into the comments down below
talking about how the housing prices are absolutely insane, that nothing's affordable.
And while there is some truth behind that, this is in general. So number 4 is living in Medford, the housing prices are more reasonable than the rest of the county. Now, what I mean by that is Medford is a very large area in perspective compared to the other surrounding small towns. So we do have the full spectrum of housing options. We have, the cheapest, not in the greatest areas, and all the way up into, the $1 million properties with gorgeous views. So within that range, you tend to get more reasonable properties. For instance, me and my wife, last year, we actually purchased a home here in Medford. It was within our budget. We try to live below our means. So we were looking on the low end of housing prices. And Medford was pretty much the only area that we could find anything under $300,000 that wasn't in need of insane repairs. So you can find some affordable housing here in Medford. There's also some areas in like Eagle Point and White City that you can find some affordable housing as well. But for the most part, more of the affordable housing is going to be located here in like the Northwest, Southwest, and West Medford area of Medford. Number 5, and this is probably one of my biggest things, is I'm really big into fitness and health. Although this last like 1.5 years or so, I let my health slip, kind of got out of shape. Thanks a lot, 2020. There are tons of gyms here. And I think a lot of that has to do with the type of people that want to move to, Southern Oregon, they're typically moving here because they love to go outdoors, they want to explore and stuff like that. And I feel like in general, like, you can't be extremely out of shape and constantly want to explore and, thrive at it. So I feel like the amount of gyms that we have here in the Medford area kind of coexist with that. So for instance, we have 2 different Planet Fitnesses. We have 3 like more industrial style gyms, I guess. That might be a good term for it. But so we have 3 larger gyms, and then we have, smaller ones like Superior, Anytime Fitness, and then the majority of, actually, I think all the CrossFit gyms in Southern Oregon or in Jackson County are in Medford. I'd have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure they're all here in Medford. And if you are into CrossFit, I know the best place. So reach out for sure on that one. Now, number 6. Number 6 is going to kind of contradict number 5, because I said I'm huge into health and all that. Number 6 is there's really good food. Now, I do enjoy feeling good and being healthy, but at the same time, I enjoy a really good meal, some real tasty food. And we have a ton of really good local restaurants. One of my most favorite one that I've been digging on, I did in 2020, trying to cut back now because it's packing on the pounds, but is Fat Kid Food Co. And it's actually not a restaurant, it's actually a food truck. And what I'll do is I'll link to their Instagram down in the description. And that way you can kind of see the kind of food they make. But I mean, they make some of the craziest meals that you're like, oh man, I just don't know if that'll be good. And their food it's amazing. You definitely have to try it. As well as Jasper's. Jasper's has some amazing burgers. And Common Block, I've already mentioned them. They have really good beer as well as food. And if you are into like pastries, Puck's Donuts. Definitely try Puck's Donuts. Oh man, I can't wait to eat some Puck's Donuts. Number 7. Number 7 is going to be, it's easy to go shopping here. If you live here in Medford, you really don't have to travel too far to hit a grocery store, go to the Rogue Valley Mall. Everything's pretty tight kept. Now, if you live out in, say, White City or Eagle Point area, if you're coming into town during like rush hour, it is a nightmare trying to come in through Crater Lake Highway. For some reason, it's like the signals here in Jackson County just work 50% of the time. You'll be sitting at a red light forever just in a traffic jam. It could take you about 45 minutes to get all the way in from White City if you need to go shopping. Number 8, and this really kind of goes back to number 1 as well, is great hiking. So super close to some really nice hikes. Here in Medford, we actually have Roxy Ann, in which recently I've lived here my entire life, and I had no idea that Roxy Ann was a volcano. I can't remember who told me, but I remember I had to look it up, and I was like, huh, no kidding. But yeah, so you can hike Roxy Ann. When you get up there, you have gorgeous views of, Medford and the valley area here. And then if you actually head out towards Sam's Valley area, it's probably about a 10-15 minute drive, you can actually hike Table Rocks. We have upper and lower Table Rock. Up there, you get amazing views as well of the entire valley. And then on the other end of the valley in Jacksonville, you can do Brit Trails. And once again, that's probably about a 10-minute drive from Medford. And so it's pretty amazing to be able to just on a whim, just be like, oh, I'm gonna go hike, Brit Trails. And honestly, Brit Trails is probably one of my favorite ones to do, just because, with having kids, it's super simple to take kids. You can, push a stroller on there. Very simple hike, but it's gorgeous. You get nice views up there of Jacksonville. It's just nice to get out and enjoy some of the outdoors. Number 9. Now, if you are into clubbing and that nightlife, Medford for sure is the place that you want to be. Now, if you watched my cons, I guess you can call it, video, I did say that there isn't much to do in Medford. However, if you compare it to the surrounding towns, Medford is pretty much the only nightlife in the area. The other towns might have a couple little dive bars, but other than that, not much clubs or nightlife. Now, the downtown area, we have a few decent nightclubs. I guess you can call them nightclubs. They're more bars, I guess. But it makes it nice for bar hopping if you just want to enjoy a good evening walking around downtown with some friends. So if you're into nightlife, once again, Medford might be for you. Now, number 10, I cannot leave this one out. There are absolutely beautiful views here. Now, even if you're in like the downtown area, you can look around and you are just surrounded by beautiful green hills, wooded. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then if you head up McAndrews, like the East Medford area, that's where all the luxury homes and the more expensive homes in Medford, and actually in Jackson County in general, are located up in that area. And from up there, you have full panoramic views of Medford, the Rogue Valley area, and it is absolutely amazing. You get some gorgeous, gorgeous sunsets from up there. So me and my wife like to do a lot is we'll just go around, drive up there, soak in some of these amazing luxury homes, as well as just, catch a nice, beautiful sunset. So if you are considering relocating here to Medford or the Southern Oregon area, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you're notified every time I drop a new video about living here in Southern Oregon. And don't forget to go ahead and check out one of these videos on the screen because they might answer some of the questions you already have.